Greetings, Bat family. Welcome back to Holy BatCast, brought to you by Real Fans for Real Movies. You can visit our website, holybatcast.com, and also find us all over social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, YouTube, all those places. Just search for Holy BatCast and you will find us. If you're a big fan of the show, you want to support us, you can do that on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/holybatcast. And as always, a big thank you to our patrons. It is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll get to all that in a second. But I got to say, one of the many things I'm thankful for is not only everybody listening, but also our patrons. You guys are amazing. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, especially to our patrons. You guys support us and you do it out of the kindness of your hearts. And I hope you know it does not go unappreciated. So thank you guys. We love it. If you want to be one of those people, you can go to patreon.com/holybatcast. If you don't want to be one of those people, it's okay. I'll never know. We're also part of the Real Fans Podcast Network. You can check out those shows at rf4rm.com. Finally, I'm Andy DiGenova. You can find me on Twitter, X, Instagram, and Letterboxd. It's just my name, Andy DiGenova, ANDYDIGENOVA. And we're back. Happy Thanksgiving. I know it's been a few weeks since the last episode, but we're back to catch up on everything that has happened over the past few weeks. And joining me for all that fun, it's Jamie Drewley. Hey, Jamie, happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, it is a happy Thanksgiving. I'm half in the bag in a turkey coma, man. This tryptophan is sifting through my veins. I had one Thanksgiving on Sunday, and here we are as we record on Wednesday night. I've had a second one, and it doesn't get any less impressive to me.
I'm impressed that you're already 2 Thanksgivings down, and it is Thanksgiving Eve as we speak.
Yeah. I'm stacking them up, man.
Good for you. Well, I had a mini Thanksgiving on Monday night, but it wasn't turkey. We did like pizza and mashed potatoes and stuff with Catherine's family back in California. Now I'm back in Illinois, and then we have 2 more Thanksgivings to come. So I guess it's the year for multiple Thanksgivings.
I mean, any excuse I can find to eat a turkey dinner is A-okay by me. Pizza for Thanksgiving, I've never done that. But, if you want to make a pizza that's like gravy for the sauce and turkey for the meat and some stuffing for the crust, I'm in.
That's actually sounds pretty darn good. I want to figure that out now. But no, it's because we've been jumping around with travel and everything. And so we had to do just like a little family dinner. They're doing real Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving. But so that's why we were like, well, we ordered pizza, and then Catherine's mom was kind enough to like make some sides and appetizers and things like that. So it was like Thanksgiving-ish, but pizza was the main course, which I'm not mad at it at all because I'm going to have 2 turkey dinners this week, so it's fine.
You can't have enough turkey dinners.
I know. I'm not mad about it. So yeah, we have a lot to catch up on. It has been a few weeks since our last episode. Before we get to all of that, though, I've got to give a shout out to our pals over at Manscaped who continue to be generous and supportive of Holy BatCast. And we are coming into the holidays, and they say, Merry Ballsmas from our friends over at Manscaped. They wrote that down. Merry Ballsmas. So
they're so festive.
Everybody should celebrate. The holidays are approaching, but what if I told you that celebrations are starting early? Turns out the perfect gift does exist, and who else to bring it down your chimney than the leaders in below-the-waist grooming? Keep calm, let your balls jingle this season. Make your bells and your balls jingle balls. Anyway, with Manscaped's brand new Performance Package 5.0 Ultra, it features the new Lawnmower 5.0. Watch all your wishes and mistletoe kisses come true. Look nice when you're going naughty by going to manscaped.com and using the promo code BATSCAPED for 20% off and free shipping. Unwrap the gift of smoothness this season with Manscaped. And as we've told you in the past, this is a perfect gift idea. I'm not just saying it because Christmas is coming. It really is, because it's actually practical and it's nice and it's high quality and you save money. So go to manscaped.com, buy some gifts for the men in your life, or buy yourself something nice. Get the discount, use Batscaped, get 20% off. And as I was telling you, Jamie, I was just in California visiting Catherine's family, and Catherine's sister's boyfriend, he listens to the show. So hi, Trent. And he said to Jackie, my sister-in-law, he's like, I know way too much about your brother-in-law's ball grooming habits. And that is accurate. That is true. So thanks to Manscaped for that. It brings us all a little bit closer. It allows us to bond a little more. But no, the new Lawnmower 5.0 is awesome, and all their stuff is awesome. Again, I haven't been home in weeks, Jamie. In weeks, but I've only been using my handyman to shave because it's easier and it comes with me. And so I've been very grateful for it while I've been out and about and not at home. So all the stuff they have is great. Go take a look. Go to manscaped.com and use that promo code BATSCAPED for your discount and for free shipping. Any plugs you want to give in there, Jamie, before we
all I can say, if I may be so bold, since we're into the festive season now, Batman would not smell if he used Manscaped.
That's true. That's true. They'd have to change that whole song, and the Joker wouldn't have a way to sing and make Batman feel bad about himself.
Precisely.
You're right. So he should do that.
Manscaped is out here fighting crime in Gotham, as well as helping out a podcast that talks about it.
So yeah, I like it. Again, that promo code BATSCAPED, 20% off and free shipping. Get your jingle balls ready for the holidays. And I don't know this for sure, but check the site on Black Friday. You're going to hear this just in time for Black Friday. Check the site, because if they mark it down on the site without an extra discount code, you can still use our discount code. So if they're running a sale, you can also use the Batscape discount code and get extra savings. You can't beat that. Wow. So, all right. So happy holidays to everybody as they're coming and do a little bit of shopping at Manscaped. We would appreciate it. They would appreciate it. Everybody would appreciate it. It would be terrific. So we got some stuff to catch up on, Jamie, but the first thing, do a little bit of housekeeping and acknowledge the fact that it's been a few weeks since the last episode. I did post on Twitter that it was going to be a little bit of a gap, just because of personal things and because of life. And I mentioned it on the Real Fans episode. And for anybody who already follows, my personal social media has probably already seen it. But on the last episode, Jamie, you and I talked. It was a Sunday morning. I was at my mom's house. I went to Illinois to take care of my mom, and she was sitting in the easy chair, and she listened to us do that podcast. She sat there and listened to me talk about Superman Legacy for whatever it was, an hour and a half.
And I bet she was super proud.
Well, I don't know how much she was awake. She was kind of in and out, but I don't know. I think she didn't say this, but she was, when I was like, oh, I'm going to record this podcast, I can go in the other room. And she goes, no, I want to sit here and listen. And she sat in the chair and her eyes were mostly closed, but I like to think she just wanted to hear my voice. So that was Sunday. And we lost her on Tuesday. So just a couple of days after that. And it's worth noting, Sunday was the last good day we had. And so that's what happened, And I don't want to get all emotional, but I don't know if I can help myself. But yeah, so that's what happened for anybody who, again, didn't know. And it wasn't unexpected, but it happening so quickly was unexpected, if that makes sense. We knew it was coming, which is why I was in Illinois. We just didn't think it was coming within days. We thought it was coming within months. And sometimes things just take a turn and freaking sucks. And yeah, kind of threw off that whole trip. And so had to take care of a lot of things and take care of family and all that stuff. So that's why there's the gap. And I've given a lot of, shout outs to family as I unfortunately had to say goodbye on this show, my grandma Ruth and my dad and things like that. But I got to give a shout out to my mom, Patty Gill, on this episode. I've talked a lot about in the past about going to see Batman 89 the first time because my grandma Ruth took me. It was just the two of us. I rarely mentioned the time I got to see Batman 89 the second time, that same summer. My mom took me. My mom and my siblings. The first time it was just me and grandma. The second time my mom took me and my 3 siblings, and we all got to go see Batman again. And I got to see Batman twice in the theater, which for a 10-year-old was like the best thing in the world. It was
That's a
amazing.
huge deal. Yeah.
Yeah, like going to see a movie in a theater twice at 10 years old was unheard of. But it was Batman. And I just remember that day distinctly. We were like getting ready to go to the movie, and something happened. Like, I think it was my siblings were fighting or something. And there was a moment where my mom was like, "That's it, we're not going." And I was so sad and so upset. I was like, "No, we're going to see Batman. We can't not go." And then whatever it was, like, got figured out and we ended up going. So yeah, she took me to see it. And I also say, in my youth, my mom kind of was hot and cold about supporting my Batman obsession. Sometimes she would be supportive, sometimes not so much. But in my
I could definitely co-sign that one.
like with your parents, or
Oh, absolutely. Like, I got a lecture from my dad once about my Batman obsession when I was like 15. So
oh really?
yeah. That's
Yeah.
a story for another day, though.
Yeah, so I mean, it was one of those things. Yeah, it was like, I don't know. Like, sometimes my mom like fed it, and sometimes she was like, "No, you should be into other things," and whatever. But on my 11th birthday, which was the summer of 1989, it was just August. So at that point, Batman was a couple months old. She did buy me that Batman jacket that, I don't know if you remember. There was that pamphlet with all the Batman merchandise that came out with the movie. Remember that?
No.
Oh my god! So it's the best, because in it there's Heather Langenkamp wearing like a Batman spandex biker outfit on a bike.
What?
Oh my
How did I
god!
miss this?
How did you not know this? You can Google it, but I can post it too. I own one because of course I do. It was a pamphlet that movie theaters gave out, and it was just Batman merchandise that you could order. And Heather Langenkamp, for some reason, is modeling the biker outfit, which is amazing. But also in that pamphlet is Bob Kane in a jacket, and he's wearing a Batman hat, and he's wearing a Batman jacket, and I think he's got like a Batman comic book in his hand. And the jacket it's black, and on the left chest is the little round bat symbol, and then on the back is the big oval bat symbol. And
what, like a satin jacket or what?
No, it was like a cloth, like it was kind of a light fall type jacket. It wasn't heavy, but it was kind of. I've got to post the picture, or I'll send you the link or something. But anyway, for my 11th birthday, my mom bought me that jacket, and I still have that jacket.
Attaboy.
I still have it. It is still in my closet. So again, I'm going to have to post a picture of it. I'm going to have to pull it out. So, I do have good, positive Batman memories with my mom, in spite of some of the times where she was like, "No, you need to like something else." And then even somewhat recently, over the past few years, like she never, sadly, she never truly got to retire. That wasn't in the cards for her. But she loved crafting and painting. Like, she was in her spare time, she would do a lot of painting, and she painted me a little picture, and it's the Van Gogh Starry Starry Night.
Okay.
But like a Batman version of it.
Oh, really?
So it's like Starry Starry Night, but it has the bat signal and then like a silhouette of Batman. And she painted that for me a few years ago, and so that's up in my office. And so I kind of love that that's like right there, and that was something she painted just for me, and so it's like there's that little piece of her as well. So it's been a rough couple weeks, and that we got to hang out. You made some time for me to come hang out and vent and all that stuff, but it's been a tough couple of weeks saying goodbye to my mom, especially after just saying goodbye to my dad in June, and now my mom in November. So anyway, I at least wanted to share a little bit and dedicate this episode to her. And I know people listen and they're like, "I just want to hear about Batman. I just want to hear about DC news." But the way I see it is like this is the way I have to pay tribute to her. Like, this is the avenue I have to share memories of the people I've lost, and
Sure,
the more you talk about them and the more you share them, the more that memory can live on.
Absolutely.
So anyway, so that's what we're dealing with. And I guess the other point that I'm trying to make is that, that work around, saying goodbye to my mom is not finished. So there was a huge gap this month, and then December is going to be the same. December, as far as the podcast goes, is going to be very up and down. I'm going to record when I can, but it means I have to go back to Illinois, which I didn't think I was going to have to do, but I have to go back because we're having her celebration of life. And yeah, like it adds more wrinkles. And so, the release schedule for Holy BatCast is going to be pretty weird over the next 4 to 6 weeks. And I hope you all forgive me while that is the case, because with the holidays is bad and complicated enough. And then you add in travel, and then you add in, trying to make arrangements for my mom who passed. And yeah, things just get really complicated. So I'll do what I can, but it's just going to be a little weird over the next month or so. And then hopefully January, it'd be nice if we could hit some sort of little stability there. That would be a nice change of pace.
Yeah. Family comes first, man. I'm sure everybody out there understands.
I appreciate it. And I will say, like, for the listeners who actually do follow me, like my personal accounts on like Instagram or Facebook or wherever, there was a lot of very, very kind messages, and I read every single one of them, and I really do appreciate every single one of them. And so many of them basically said that is, take the time you need to, it's all good. And some very nice ones that obviously are people who listen to the show, because, I don't know them personally, but they even said, like, your Holy BatCast family has you and all that good stuff. And that means a lot to me too. And I do appreciate that. But for anybody who didn't know what was going on, I thought I should at least share it. And, get a little love to my mom.
Right on.
So,
and as he mentioned, we did meet up. We don't see each other very often, but we've seen each other a handful of times in person.
mm-hmm.
And we met up and had some lunch, and old boy showed up wearing a Batman Returns t-shirt and a Batman hat. So y'all, this is a lifestyle. This isn't just a hobby. This is a lifestyle.
Always. Heck yeah. It's a lifestyle choice.
And quite possibly my favorite part of this was after lunch, we decided to go walk around and burn a calorie or two. And we went to the Target that was across the street from where we ate. And Andy just got it in his head that we had to send a screw you video to Brendan from the Target. And that was funny to me somehow. So.
It was because as we were walking around, Brendan literally texted and he was like, "Hey, did you see Jamie yet?" And I was like, "I am with him right now." And so of course we had to send him a video to be like, "Sorry about it, you're not here."
The fortuitous thing of seeing that ornament as we were talking to him on that video was, I don't know if you legitimately didn't know that.
I had no idea.
That was crazy.
As we were doing the video and I was, was giving him a hard time, we were in the Christmas section. I said something about like trying to find a koala ornament, and right there, right in front of us was a koala ornament. And I was like, "Oh, there it is."
It was a kangaroo, wasn't it?
No, it was a koala.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a koala. I was like, "Yep, there it is." Wow, didn't even plan for that, but there you go.
It was a sign from above.
It was meant to be, but it was very fun, and it was a little break that I needed. So, anyway, so all that aside, you want to talk about everything that's happened over the past couple of weeks? Because
it sounds like there's a lot, and I don't even know if I know all of it we're going to discuss. So some of this may even be a surprise to me, because
it's very possible.
I'm just not up to date in the social media circles like I used to be. So.
Well, I do appreciate giving you the news and getting your real time reactions.
All right, then. Let's see what's what.
All right. So the first thing, it's pretty small. It's pretty simple, but it's worth noting. And that is that the Penguin series for Max was put on hold because of the writers and actors strike. But now the strike has been settled, which is something we talked about on the last episode of like, we'd heard that it was coming close to an end, and finally it has come close to an end. And so because work can resume, the Penguin is heading back into production right after this weekend, right after Thanksgiving weekend, so they can finish it up in time for what is supposed to be coming out next fall.
That seems like it's really far away, but it'll be here before we know it.
Yep. And there was a picture that was released, but it was like, it was literally just Colin Farrell as Oz. Like, there was nothing particularly revealing or unique about it. It was literally just a picture of him. But when they announced that they were resuming production, that picture was released with it.
All right then.
Like, honestly, like, you don't have to go out of your way. It looks just like
Probably
him.
wouldn't be able to differentiate between that and the movie that came out.
Pretty much. It just is. But anyway, it's good to see things starting to pick back up now that the strikes are settled. And that includes the Penguin for all the fans who can't wait for that. They're back in production. It seems like they are still targeted to come out next fall.
Cool.
But we don't have to wait that long for some new Batman content, because coming very soon, in just a couple of weeks. No. What's today? Is it 2 weeks? Man, maybe about 2 weeks away. And that is Merry Little Batman. So Merry Little Batman was the animated Batman Christmas special that was originally slated for Max, but instead WB decided to sell it to Amazon, so it will now be premiering on Prime on December 8th. So we finally got a trailer. Now, I know we talked previously about, I think, the poster, and I think it was the release date was when we talked about it last. But this time we got a full-on 2.5-minute trailer of Merry Little Batman. And I don't know if you caught this or not, Jamie.
I saw the Real Fans group on Facebook talking about it in a post, and of course, everybody throwing out the not so hot takes about the designs and whatnot that they didn't necessarily care for with it. But it seemed to me like, I did not watch the trailer, but it seemed to me that the reactions to the trailer itself were far more positive than they were to the initial aesthetic designs that were shown in stills or whatever that came out as. It's almost like the trailer seems to have almost won some people over, where it's like, oh, well, even though I don't like the way it looks, that trailer actually looks pretty good. That's kind of the general reaction I seem to see from most people.
Mm-hmm. So you did not watch the trailer?
I did not.
Okay. So, well, I mean, give me your thoughts before I give you my thoughts.
Well, my biggest thing, and the reason I didn't watch the trailer, is I don't want to get bogged down by things that I don't like before watching something, especially, I tend to be in that, the brighter, cheerier mood during the Christmas season anyway. And I just don't want to go into something with any kind of negative baggage beforehand. So I actually purposely didn't watch the trailer, because I thought, I'm just going to watch the special when it airs. And, I've seen some of the stills, and is it what I would have chosen? No, of course not. But you know what? They're not necessarily targeting me as the audience here, even though, we watch everything Batman for the most part. So I just kind of want to watch it cold and see what I take out of it from there.
All right. Okay. I watched the trailer, and I mean, you already kind of hit on my feelings, and it's the same feelings that when we first got the look at how I guess they're calling it a movie. I don't know how long it is. My hunch is it's going to be a 45-minute movie, not an hour and a half movie.
That
but
sounds about right.
Yeah, that's what they're calling it. But yes, like I'm not crazy about the designs of the characters themselves. I wish they didn't go in that direction as far as the designs go, but it's Batman and it's Christmas, and I really, really want to like it. And the trailer is cute. I think it's one of those where it's like, yes, it helps a little bit. And I think that for those of us who were not hot on the designs, it still gave us a little bit of hope, because you see the Christmassy imagery. I think that, and this is something that we discussed with our pal over at the Fire Rises, Joe, about like, like even the backgrounds are okay. Yes, they're very stylized, but that's okay. It's just the people. It's the designs of the people that are really not working for us. But like to see it in motion, to see the animation, to see the snow falling, to hear the Christmassy sounds in the trailer, all of that really does help sell the style. And so, that's kind of where we landed is like, what, I hope I still like it despite of how everyone looks, as opposed to being like, oh my God, this looks amazing, I can't wait. And it's a shame that's how I feel. It's a shame that it's like, well, hopefully I'll like it in spite of the design, as opposed to just being all in from day one. But, that's just the way it is. And that's okay. Like they made their choice, and if this is what kids expect in their animation, like far be it for me.
Well, I see so much animation being done in that particular general aesthetic style lately that I'm wondering if that's just not why they did it, is because it fits the mold of what kids are watching right now.
I think so. I think that's true. But anyway, so I mean, that's where I am. Is like I'm still going to give it a shot, and I hope to like it well enough. But yeah, like of course the style is the biggest thing that's a little disappointing. Like and the trailer itself is cute. Again, there's some nice animation in there. Again, I like how Christmassy it feels. I like the sounds of Christmas. You get glimpses of not just the Joker, but also the Penguin and Mr. Freeze and Bane. So it's gonna include other Bat villains as well. There is a Bat nipple joke. So, they're doing a little meta work here, but it looks cute and I hope it'll be fun and I hope I'll enjoy it. And it's weird that Batman's got a beard, which
I
is,
did notice that. I actually wondered, I'm like, is that just like weird lighting there? And then I like looked at the picture closer. I'm like, no, he actually does have a beard.
yeah, he does.
It's
So,
a choice.
yeah. But anyway, here's the official log line on Merry Little Batman. It says, this Christmas, Damian Wayne wants to be a superhero like his dad, the one and only Batman. When Damian is left home alone while Batman takes on Gotham's worst supervillains on Christmas Eve, he stumbles upon a villainous plot to steal Christmas and leaps at the chance to save the day. Produced by Warner Brothers Animation and based on characters from DC, Merry Little Batman features the voice of Jonas Cabrib, Luke Wilson, James Cromwell, and David Hornsby. It's directed by Mike Roth from a screenplay by Morgan Evans and Jace Ritchie. Roth also serves as executive producer along with Sam Register. It arrives on December 8th to Prime Video. So Luke Wilson is Batman. And James Cromwell, I believe, is Alfred.
I love James Cromwell.
So could be fun. Hoping I enjoy it. But the trailer is out there, and again, we'll be watching it in just over 2 weeks from the time of this recording. But that's the nice thing about DC. There's always new animation coming. And we knew that there was an animated version of Crisis on Infinite Earths coming as well. And now we have just a little more info and a teaser trailer. And this just came out today.
I was going to say, I haven't even seen that.
So. Yeah, this just came out today. It is a teaser trailer, so it's only like 40 seconds or so. But the important thing, at least for me, that I thought was interesting that I don't think we knew is that it is not a 2-parter. It's a 3-parter.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think when they first announced the DC animated movies coming this year, there were less of them, and we were like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe this is why. It's because Crisis is 3 movies that, of course, will then be scrunched together and sold again, and I will buy it all over again. So we just know it's coming next.
Wallets, Andy. They hate them.
They know what I'll do. But it's coming next year. We don't have release dates yet, 2024, but a 3-part event, and the animation is very consistent with what we saw in like the Long Halloween, that style.
Oh, that's too bad. I was really hoping it was going to be the Merry Little Batman style.
Well, I like this style a lot, so I'm happy with it. So yeah, what was the Superman one? I'm blanking. Man of Tomorrow?
Yes.
Was that the first one that was in that style? Was Man of Tomorrow, and then Justice Society, World War II. That one was also in the similar style, and then Long Halloween. That look, that is very much what we're seeing here. The teaser gives a lot of glimpses of the Justice League. I think there's a little glimpse of like Ultraman in there too. But it does not give away like if they're really going to be like universe hopping, which is interesting. So it's all kind of, it's just a tease, but it's showing a lot of Flash and Supergirl, which is, I think, appropriate considering the source material.
Indeed.
So I'm really looking forward to this. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I really do enjoy the book. I enjoyed the CW crossover, but to get a more book faithful animated version and them going in on 3 parts, like, I don't know. I think that's really exciting. What about you?
Commitment there. I mean, even if they have them down around that 80-minute runtime instead of like the 75 or 80 instead of the full like 90-ish, that's a lot of content for one story.
For sure.
But I think the book is what, 8 issues? Is that what the Crisis
Oh,
was?
sure. I don't remember, but yeah.
I don't think it was 12. I'm pretty sure it was 8. I don't know. The trade paperback is pretty thick. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah. And I read it back when the CW event happened. So it's been a few years since the last time I read it. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot there, and I appreciate that they're going all in to make sure that they can do it justice.
I'm
So
here for it.
yeah, me too. It looks fun. I'm into it. So the teaser trailer is out there, and it's crazy. But I'm looking forward to seeing that. But I'm also looking forward to seeing a new DC movie in just a couple of weeks. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom.
Gosh, it is right around the corner, isn't it?
It is a month from today, my friend, as of this recording.
Wow.
So today is November 22nd, Harley's 21-month birthday. I guess it's not really a birthday, but she's 21 months today. But also, we're a month out from Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. And because we are a month out, they are really starting to kick up the marketing and the advertising for the film. So over the past week, we got, tickets have gone on sale. We got new posters. We got a new, it's not a full trailer, but it's sort of a mini trailer. It's like the tickets on sale trailer, but it's a lot of new stuff in it. So marketing has really kicked up. They announced that it's being released in IMAX. It was filmed for IMAX with an amazing IMAX exclusive poster that shows Arthur on top of like this giant ice structure thing. It's pretty badass.
Definitely the Fortress of Solitude.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. But so the IMAX poster is badass. There's also a poster of Arthur and Orm kind of standing back to back, really selling the bromance team up aspect of the film. There are character posters of Arthur, Orm, and Black Manta of just their faces. So yeah, like things
Don't they say something
up
on those posters with the faces though?
They do.
I forget what Arthur says, but I'm pretty sure the Orm says redemption and Manta says revenge, if I'm
I think
remembering.
Manta says avenge. And I can't remember what Arthur's was either, if I'm being honest.
Protect, redeem, and avenge.
All right, there it is. You found it. Okay, so we've got protect, redeem, avenge with Arthur, Orm, and Manta. Did you watch the new trailer for this, Jamie?
Nope, I posted it and didn't even watch it.
Oh, because you're good.
Yeah, I'm trying to save some stuff. I feel like these trailers haven't been too revealing with stuff, but that doesn't mean I trust WB's marketing because I still remember 2016.
Yeah, I know. Well, I will say it is mostly new footage, but I don't feel it gives away anything that you don't. There's one plot point it does reveal about how Black Manta is going to get what he wants. I don't know if I'd call it spoilery, but other than that, it is sort of the same big, impressive fantasy that we saw in the last trailer, and we're just seeing more of it. It's interesting, not even a glimpse of Mara in it, but quite a bit of Atlanta, which is nice. So if we can't have Mara, at least Atlanta. But some really awesome action stuff, some really awesome fight stuff. Again, a little plot point about the key to what Black Manta needs, but he basically says, "I'm going to stop Aquaman, even if I have to make a deal with the devil to do it." But I mean, visually impressive and some really awesome action beats. I mean, it looks great. Again, I wouldn't call it a full-on trailer, but it kind of is. It's a minute and a half, so there's a lot of good stuff in here if you haven't watched it, but I'm trying to respect that you haven't watched it. I will also say, and this is, was in the first trailer, I just love that they're leaning into Storm, the seahorse. That makes me so happy.
Everybody loves a big seahorse.
Right? But yeah, I mean, like big creatures, epic vistas, lots of color, fantasy. It looks amazing. I immediately watched it. I don't have your restraint, I guess, because as soon as I saw it posted, I was like, "Oh, what?" But I expected it to be like a new theatrical trailer or kind of a final trailer.
Yeah.
And it's sort
If
of
this truly is it and they don't release anything else, and I wouldn't imagine they would at this point, that's either really damning on what they're doing for the marketing for this movie or good for them for showing some bloody restraint for a change. Maybe both.
yeah. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what they do. My hunch is we'll still get something else like a week or two out. But they do say towards the end, like they call it Aquaman's last stand, which is also very interesting.
Oh,
But
well, then he's going to die at the end. Okay.
well, not that. But Jason Momoa even basically, I wouldn't say confirmed, but he's now out there finally being able to do the rounds now that the strike is over. And he even said, that this is probably it for him as Aquaman. But he said something to the effect of, but DC loves me, so we'll see what happens, or something like that.
No.
Which, we all know what that could mean.
Yeah, you got to make way for Lobo, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. I can't wait for it. I need to buy my tickets, actually, now that we're talking about it.
I still haven't bought mine because I'm sure my son will want to go, and my schedule's so screwy at work that I'm just like, I'm going to wait until I have time to go, hopefully on opening weekend, and just buy the tickets at that point.
Well, for me, it's more about like, got to check my travel schedule, see when I can go.
Yeah.
But anyway, coming out in a month. I'm psyched for it, and I think it looks awesome.
I'm in.
Great.
Just don't know when.
I know.
It's amazing how I get older and I have like less responsibilities with like doing things with my kids' activities so much as it is. I used to go to the very first showing of every one of these movies, and now it's like, I'll go when I can go.
I know. I mean, I still, as long as I am in a place where I can go to the movies, I think I will go opening night. I just have to look at it. So
Harley has not been to a movie theater yet, has she?
No, she's not even 2.
Exactly. So maybe this is a good opportunity to take her first.
Not yet. I mean, I wish she was old enough, but not yet.
Hey, the Sunday of opening weekend of Revenge of the Sith, some people brought a baby in a carrier, and that baby was screaming through like 30% of that movie. And I mean, full-blown screaming. And that was the first time my wife saw the movie, and I was like, if I had not already seen this movie twice, I would be grabbing these people and dragging them out of this theater right now. Because, yeah, that's rude.
I know. Well, something else you need to start planning for is Superman Legacy.
Again, feels like it's forever away, but it's going to be one of those blinking, it'll be here things.
I know. So on the last episode, we discussed talked about the timing and the strikes and all of that. And we talked about, how much we thought the strikes would or would not impact it. And I think we said, well, right now, I think they can still make it. And turns out they can. We were correct about that. So right after the strikes ended, James Gunn did share this on Threads. He said, thanks to the efforts of our talented crew, who never lost faith during the longest strikes in Hollywood history, and who never let their foot off the pedal, continuing to barrel forward, creating the most amazing character and set designs I've seen in my entire career, Superman Legacy will be making the originally planned release date of July 11th, 2025.
Good.
So that is great to hear. That is encouraging. And if when you think about it, the writers were striking and the actors were striking, but designers, production designers, the rest of the crew could continue working, and they were continuing to work and do pre-production that was allowed within the restrictions of the strike. And so fortunately, it was pre-production, so a lot could still happen while the strikes were going on, and it's great to hear that we'll still be getting it as scheduled.
And, the script being done before that happened was a little helpful, too, I would say.
Right, exactly. So I didn't have to worry about that. And so something that he had said I think it was when the strikes were happening, someone had asked kind of, will things stay on track? And he said something to the effect of, everything's ready to go, but we can't move forward until the strikes happen. And so we all knew that things would start coming fast and furious after the strikes ended. And boy, have they. We have gotten a lot of casting news now that the strike is finally over. So, first one here. Maria Gabriela De Faria is going to be playing the engineer in Superman Legacy. And this was broken. Oh my God, who broke this? Was it Variety or Deadline? One of those. Anyway, one of those. But they called her a villain to play the villain, the engineer. And James Gunn said, villain is such a disparaging term. Welcome to the DCU. The Faria, who is not only a wonderful actor, but she laughs in person even more than she does on her Instagram feed. Hashtag the engineer, hashtag Superman Legacy. Now, I am not familiar with this particular actor, Maria Gabriela De Faria, and I am not really familiar with the character of the engineer. What about you, Jamie?
Same on both counts, but I also wonder if this could go one of two ways. Number one, we know Gunn loves to go trudging through it has to be like a W list, right? It's not even like B or C list of finding these random obscure characters that nobody but Jay Yaws has ever heard of in the history of mankind. Or he's being clever and she's actually playing somebody else and this is just a cover for it. I'm probably going to go with A here, just knowing Gunn's tendencies.
Well, since he hashtagged the engineer, I think that's a safe bet. And the engineer, she is part of The Authority, which is a movie that is in the slate.
That would explain it, because I've never read an Authority comic.
Neither did I, or neither have I. But I did do a little Googling on the engineer because I was curious. And what's interesting is in the Googling I did, she was a hero or is a hero. So it'll be interesting that if she's sort of what little I know about the Authority is that they are heroes, but they are heroes who do things in a way that Superman does not like. So they are at odds with Superman, even if they are not straight up villains.
Uh-huh.
Kind of like, what was that animated movie? Oh my God, there was an animated movie like that where it was like these other heroes.
Oh,
but
the Elite?
yes, Superman versus the Elite. Yes. So that's kind of what I am thinking that the Authority is going to be like, whereas they are quote unquote heroes, but they do things their own way and Superman has to rein them in. So this character, though, of the engineer, she has nanotech blood. And so she's the one, like if you saw any images of the Authority, she's the woman who is she looks completely metallic from head to toe. And she can use this nanotech to coat herself in metal and also create objects and machinery and things.
So she's a T-1000.
Kind of, but it seems like she can also create like complex weapons and machinery. So she's more like the one from T3.
Ah, okay.
I think she's more like that, but all metal.
The TX, as it were.
Yes. And so, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how villainous she truly is, especially because James Gunn seems to be playfully dismissing the term villain. But I believe that this will be a supporting role. I do not believe she is the villain of the movie. I believe she is an antagonist who will be in a supporting role, and it will then very conveniently set up the Authority for their own movie later.
Makes sense to me.
But how do you feel about that? Because we talked about, we don't want this movie just to be setting up other movies.
I mean, if it makes sense to the story, so be it. I don't really necessarily want an unknown being a primary antagonist for Superman in this first big kickoff movie, but adversely, I also don't want a rehash of all the other stuff that we seem to be recycling over and over again for Superman on a screen. So I'm just going to kind of reserve any opinion about it. I don't have any strong feelings about it either way, but see the last episode for things we want to see and don't, I guess.
Yeah, and I think what we said in the last episode is I'm like, I don't want the character just to be there to shamelessly set up another movie. As long as the character plays a role in this story, and then we see them later, and if it can serve both purposes, I'm totally fine with it. It just has to feel natural to the story he's telling. So again, it goes back to hopefully James Gunn's a man of his word.
Right.
So anyway, it'll be interesting because I know so little about the engineer and the authority, but it'll be fun to see that as it goes. A couple other supporting roles were announced. I don't know about announced. I think they were scooped and then James Gunn did confirm it. And that is we have our Jimmy Olsen and a new character we did not know was in this film until a couple days ago, Eve Tessmacher. Miss Tessmacher! And so, Skylar Gisondo is going to be Jimmy Olsen. What's crazy is that this has been rumored since before the strikes. So, it's one of those rumors that it was like he couldn't confirm because the strikes were happening. But I saw a lot of fans already operating under the assumption that Skylar Gisondo was going to be Jimmy Olsen. Mm-hmm. He is, for me, he is most famous for the Vacation reboot, which I thought was pretty funny, by the way. And Santa Clarita Diet. But I guess he's also in The Righteous Gemstones, which I have not watched.
A lot of people watch that show. I'm not one of them, but I can tell you that Santa Clarita Diet is one of the best shows that Netflix has ever done. And I'm still pissed off that we never got more than that third season.
That show is hysterical, and he is hysterical. He was so good in that. And so it's perfect casting as far as I'm concerned. I loved him in the things I have seen him in. I think he's going to be great. He is so funny and charming. And so I think it's just a great get. And where you're like, oh yeah, but if you've seen him in anything and then they announce this casting, you go, oh yeah, of course, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's an excellent fit.
And then as Miss Tessmacher, it is a model named Sarah Sampio, and she is Portuguese. And so all I know of her is that she is a Portuguese model. I don't know how much acting she has done, but she will be Miss Tessmacher. And this is what James Gunn said about both of them. Said after auditioning hundreds of folks for both of these roles, we found the perfect fits with Skylar Gisondo and Sarah Sampio. Can't wait for you guys to see them in action the summer of 25. Hashtag Superman Legacy, hashtag Jimmy Olsen, hashtag Eve Tessmacher. So, how you feeling about this?
So, the Jimmy, we're good. The Eve Tessmacher, I mean, apparently she's a Victoria's Secret model, so she's going to be stunning. I Googled it real quick yesterday when you told me about it. And
I'm so sorry you had to Google.
Yeah.
That, yeah.
Yeah.
The things we do for the show.
It was kind of hard to find. I had to Google it like 4 different ways before something popped up that wasn't the original Miss Tessmacher from 78. Which, not that I minded seeing those pictures, but that's beside the point. But I don't know anything about her other than she was apparently a Victoria's Secret model, and she's very lovely, and I don't have a single clue if she's ever done any bit of acting in her entire life.
Yeah.
But she apparently got the role for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, same. I'm going to kind of trust that, James Gunn knows what he's doing and that she's going to be great. For me, I just think it's super fun that Miss Tessmacher's in the movie because we didn't know that.
My guess would be that's not going to be a very large role.
I would think so too. That makes sense. And then finally, the biggie. Now, this one, interestingly, has not been confirmed by James Gunn yet. But Deadline has reported that Nicholas Hoult is in talks to play Lex Luthor, and it is a done deal. And so everybody has announced it as it is happening, but it has yet to be officially confirmed. So there's still a little bit of an out. But this is another one that was rumored well before the strike. And much like Skylar Gisondo, I've seen a lot of fans already operating under the assumption that he was going to play Lex all along. And it seems like that will indeed be the case. So Nicholas Hoult, I mean, he has been doing so much great work for many years now. Mad Max Fury Road, Warm Bodies, which I think is so underrated. I love that movie.
Oh, I love that movie.
He was the Beast in the new class of the X-Men movies. He was in The Menu last year, which was another just fantastic role.
Oh, I forgot he was in that.
Yeah. So yeah, he's just been doing amazing work for years. Oh, he was Renfield this year.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, he's been, and rumor is he tested for Batman for the Batman. Rumor is he tested for Superman and Superman Legacy. But seems like he is instead going to be giving Superman headaches as Lex Luthor. So how do you feel about Nicholas Hoult?
If you can't be Superman or Batman, I mean, that's a pretty solid consolation prize, if you ask me. Because one would have to assume that Lex is going to be a very big part of, especially this film, if not this new DC universe as a whole. Because I can't help but believe that at some point James Gunn is going to give me the Legion of Doom movie that I've been asking for years.
Yeah, he has. I mean, he has to. He owes you.
Somebody does.
Right. So I have a little tiny disappointment, and my disappointment is this. I love Nicholas Hoult so much, I kind of wanted him as a hero. But I can get over that pretty quickly because I think he will be an amazing Lex Luthor.
I just want to know how he looks in a power suit.
Hopefully we'll find out. But yeah, I mean, he's such a great actor. He's been one of my favorites for years now. He was destined to be part of the DC universe one way or another, and I think he's going to be terrific in the role. He is like the perfect kind of age and a perfect mirror image of David Corenswet. So I feel like this is a Lex and a Superman that when you see them side by side, they will just make sense. And like I mentioned, The Menu, he was such a pompous ass in that movie. It's also a great way to like watch that and go, oh my God, I can see this guy as Lex Luthor.
Yeah. And he's got a really great acting range. I mean, I haven't seen him do a lot in the funny department. Renfield was kind of the only delve into that I've seen other than, a random joke here or there in other movies like First Class or whatever. But he's got some chops, man. The guy's got talent, and what he can bring to this role is pretty exciting, if you ask me.
I absolutely agree. No, I think it's a great choice. I think he's going to be amazing in the role. And, if we really are setting things up for the long haul, which I think we are, to your point, we will see him in multiple films as Lex in the future because Lex is such a huge cog in the DC universe anyway. And you want an actor of his pedigree in that role. I think he's going to be great.
I think so too.
Yep. So I'm psyched for it. There was another thing, and it was also making the rounds, is that David Corenswet, I don't know who shared the picture, but it was a picture of David Corenswet like working out, and he has already bulked up considerably for Superman. So just FYI, that's out there as well. But they're all set to start production in January. So again, the news is coming so quickly now. Right. For me, it's all really exciting. I can't wait. James Gunn has even teased like a first look at David Corenswet in the Superman suit. So that will be exciting. There's a lot to get excited about, a lot to look forward to. And so, they are truly going full steam ahead with casting and production and design and all that stuff. And for us, it's just exciting to see those things as we get to find out.
All I can say is, it'll be nice to see the Outer Ruse again.
The what?
Outer Ruse.
The Outer Ruse. Ah, okay. Yep. Well, that will be telling, won't it? I still don't understand why that's such a big thing for people.
I just feel like it looks unnatural without it. Not that I think the Man of Steel suit looked bad or the New 52 Superman outfit for the most part didn't look bad. It's just, I prefer the trunks. That's just my
That's
way.
fine. And that's the thing, is because I don't feel strongly about it. I'm like, nah, that's fine. I don't care. I just don't care. It's great. So we'll see where James Gunn lands.
Maybe we can just get a black suit with a lightning bolt design for the S.
Perfect. Or just do that. That's fine. All right. So I think those are all the big things. Pretty sure. There are a lot of other little things, but again, because we're catching up over the course of a few weeks, I wanted to stick to kind of the biggest deals as we go, and those were the ones that jumped out at me. Aside from the fact that I ordered my Batman and Robin action figures from McFarlane.
Of course you did.
And I'm irrationally excited about them. I shouldn't be this excited about them, but I'm like,
It's important to have goals.
You got to take what joy you can, whatever that might be. So anyway, so there you go. Those are the big pieces of news. Again, I know it's not completely comprehensive, but the most exciting news, at least as far as the movies go, and some other little things in there. So exciting times. We are full steam ahead. We're going to get a new DC movie a month from today. And then there's going to be a new Superman movie coming our way. And yeah, it's going to be great.
They're doing all this just so we have content on the show.
Thank goodness. Thank goodness for that. So we also, because of the gap, have collected quite a few emails. So I think it's time that we check in with all those fine feathered finks out there and crack open the Wayne Manor mailbox. It's time again for the Wayne Manor mailbox.
You've got mail.
What is a letter for me?
Maybe temporary.
She wrote a letter.
You're one hell of a messenger. This is all Master Wayne.
Now, the mailbox is going to get a little weird going forward for about the next month because with all the holiday shipping and people sending Christmas cards, it's easy for that stuff to get backed up and lost in the mail.
Yep, I know. This is busy season for the mailman.
Although, get this, I did order something on Amazon today, and it's being shipped between 8 and 12 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Oh, no. I mean,
I'm like, really?
yay for you, I guess, but...
Well, I mean, we're fighting at work over music selection because we have to use the office computer if we want to listen to music, and we're restricted to like certain websites we can use for it. And I'm like, guys, my Christmas playlist on Apple Music is beyond epic. So I ordered a Bluetooth speaker so that we could listen to it on my music instead of the office music. So that's what I ordered. So I could have waited until Friday.
Oh, okay.
I'm sending it tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, great. Just in the nick of time, I guess.
I suppose so.
All right. Well, here we go. Let's first email here. Who's this from? Mike. And it says, hey guys, a first time, long time. Superman is my favorite superhero. So hearing your list of what you wanted in Legacy was a great listen. And I love to see all of what you suggested. I was thinking about which villain or villains that the film could open with Supes fighting. And what about Silver Banshee and or Livewire? Both were done very well on Supergirl. And I'd love to see them on the big screen. Also, I've got to ask, down the road, do you think we'll ever see a live action or animated version of the Doomsday Clock? Animation may be easier, but with Gunn, you never know. Lastly, I wanted to thank you guys for week in, week out, putting out a great podcast. I drive a lot for work, and you guys are in my pod rotation. I always love hearing your takes on Batman and DC. Sincerely, Mike. Thanks, Mike, and nice to hear from you. I'm glad you listened, and I am glad you finally reached out. So we appreciate that. So question, Jamie, what do you think about Silver Banshee and or Livewire?
I'm not opposed to it.
I actually love that idea. I'm all for more girl power. And those are great female Superman villains that have never been in a movie. And so I think that would be really fun. And I say, why not both? Why not both?
If memory serves, Livewire was part of the Superman animated series, which...
She was
very much condone the idea of copy and paste from that into live action. So
I know.
I don't recall if Silver Banshee was. It's not a character the only thing I can really recall Silver Banshee in, and it may not have even been her, was in Public Enemies.
Oh, yeah. I think she was in that. She was definitely in the DC animated universe somewhere, but I can't remember if it was Superman the Animated Series or Justice League. I don't remember, but yeah, I love the idea of both of those, so I'm all for it. And then Doomsday Clock. What do you think about that, Jamie?
Definitely, I think we're leaning more towards an animated format to make that happen, but I would certainly like to see it done because I enjoyed that story immensely.
Yeah, I agree. I would have a hard time seeing them do it in live action, but animation, I think it absolutely could be possible, especially with they're doing the new animated Watchmen that's coming soon. So could open the door to something like that.
maybe that's why they're doing the animated Watchmen, is to give that continuity a little bit of a nudge in the direction, and then they're going to do Doomsday Clock because of that. Maybe that's what's happening.
Yeah. And Crisis. With the Watchmen and the Crisis, it'd be pretty easy to tee it up.
Indeed.
All right, next message is from our old pal Stephen Marshall. It says, "Hey guys, long time no speak. I hope you're doing well. I've been doing some catching up now that spooky season is over, although I did listen to your most recent episode because it was about Superman. I hope life is treating you well and you're looking forward to Christmas. Anyway, I wanted to throw a few things your way based on what I've caught up on so far. I got a kick listening to your memories of the Dark Knight episode. It was such an incredible time. I actually have a funny story about my first time seeing it. I'd been dumped by my girlfriend a few days prior, so I wasn't in the best headspace, and the showing I was at had a couple of blackouts. Yet, despite all this, I still love that freaking movie, which I think is a testament to how great it truly is. The good thing was the screening had its issues. I was given free tickets to see any film I wanted, so I went again the next day with a new date, The Power of the Dark Knight right there. Regarding the things that you'd like to see in Superman Legacy, I mentioned on Twitter how I wanted more a comic book-inspired Metropolis. Give me the Daily Planet Globe and the futuristic look. Yes, I guess I also want Superman the Animated Series in live action. So here's hoping. Sorry for the long email. Just wanted to give some reflections on what I've been listening to. Much love. Take care, guys. Steven. Awesome, Steven. Thanks so much. Thanks for catching up, and glad you have been enjoying it. And yeah, I mean, I'm with you about a Metropolis that has a look as distinctive as Gotham would in a Batman movie.
I mean, it only makes sense to make the locales be characters in and of themselves. Gotham's not an exclusive right to that, so
Yeah, exactly.
oh god, imagine if we get like Central City and is it Emerald City? Is that where Hal Jordan lived?
Coast City. Coast City, right? I think. Man, it's like a test. Anyway, next is from Tom Fallows. It says, "Hey guys, one of the things I've noticed about Batman movies is they will often do homages to the 60s show. Burton did homages like Joker being an artist and the Penguin running for mayor. Schumacher took the campy style, and even Nolan took elements like the Joker's mask and trying to get rid of a bomb. So what part of the 60s show would you like to see in the new continuity of Batman movies? For me, I wouldn't mind seeing death traps back and maybe start the movie with the traps being a cold open. Anyway, just a fun question to start the week, Tom Fallows." Thanks, Tom. Interesting. Jamie, anything from the 60s show you would like to see like homaged in the current Batman continuity?
I had no answer whatsoever, but when he put in the death traps, I'm like, hell yeah, let's do that.
I agree.
Sounds like a great time.
I agree. I love that idea. I think that's awesome. Something that I miss, and I feel like it's been hinted at a bit, but not recently. We got a little bit of it, I think, in Suicide Squad, but what about the villains having their own vehicles? I miss that. Like in the 60s, like the Joker had a car and Catwoman had a car. Like we got something of a Joker mobile in Suicide Squad, but I would love to see something like that. I love the theming. I love the continuity and the branding. So yeah, something like that. But I agree about the death traps. I think that's a great call.
Yeah, I don't think I can top that, so I'm not even going to try.
All right, next message is from Lloyd Wabbit. It says, "Hey, hallowed bat brethren. First and foremost, my love to you, Andy. You're an amazing person, son, father, and podcaster, and I hope you find solace and comfort with your wife, daughter, and bat community during this difficult time. I know your late parents are looking upon you with pride, warmth, and love, perhaps joined by Kevin Conroy, who is assuredly reveling in this beautiful community that you foster. It is undoubtedly a beautiful legacy. On the subject of family, my bat son is due in 3 short months. I had emailed previously to commend the Bat family on your enthusiasm for your collective roles as fathers, something I cherish and admire with regards to the podcast. As my life is soon to be turned upside down, I'm wondering if you could recommend some DC-related adjacent content to comfort watch while hanging with my newborn. Aside from the Deaniverse, how did y'all find comfort during such a chaotic yet happy and exhausting time? With love to Jamie, Brendan, and the rest of the Bat family, humbly yours, Lloyd Wabbit." Thank you, Lloyd. And first of all, I thank you for the kind words. Obviously, you'd heard about my mother from one of the other things, and I really do appreciate everything you said. And yeah, Catherine's been great, and my family has been great, and my friends like Jamie and Brendan and have all been so great and supportive during this time. So I do appreciate that. That really means a lot. Congratulations on the incoming new addition to the family. That's amazing and exciting and terrifying, and you're going to be fine, and it's going to be great. But yeah, everything is about to change, but for the better in every conceivable way. So Jamie, what do you think? What would you recommend for Lloyd while he is dealing with a newborn?
Oh, I mean, other than getting in all the sleep you can now and developing even more patience than you ever thought humanly possible. As far as content, gosh, when my daughters were born, Revenge of the Sith had just come out a couple of months before. So that had just come out on home video about the time they were born. So I spent a lot of time rewatching that while I was feeding babies and trying to give my wife a rest. But DC content, when my son was born, The Dark Knight had just come out a couple of months before. So a lot of the time was spent with him in those situations watching The Dark Knight, which I can't even begin to tell you how many times I did when it hit home video.
Well, that worked out.
Yeah, good for me. Anything specific to it? Gosh, I don't know, but it's harder with Batman specifically. But there's some content out there with Superman with his family, son, wife, all that stuff, and I suppose that could offer a little bit in that area. I guess That's not the greatest answer I know, but that's the only thing that's really popping into my mind offhand.
That's okay. When Harley was born, because it's funny because it is exhausting, but it's also like sedentary exhausting. You spend a lot of time like sitting with them and rocking them and feeding them and them sleeping. And so like you're very busy and you're very tired, but you're also like, at least for me, I was sitting down a lot. And so I marathoned the Batman movies. I started with Batman the movie from 1966 and made my way all the way through Justice League, or BVS at least. Just because it was kind of a nice comfort watch while we were dealing with a newborn. So I say pick whatever makes you comfortable, whatever makes you happy. This also could be a great time to binge Batman the Animated Series or some Batman animated show or Batman 66, something that you've always been meaning to binge. This is a great time because you're going to be home with a baby. You're not going to be going anywhere. And between feedings and naps and sleeping and everything, you've got time to just turn stuff on. That also includes in the middle of the night when they're awake and you're feeding them and all that. So, I don't know. There's no wrong answer, I guess is what I'm saying. For me, we did all the movies, but yeah, if there were to be another time, I would say, just start animated series or Batman 66 or whatever it is makes you happy. That's going to help ease that whole very chaotic and exhausting few months of a newborn.
Yeah. And maybe don't even try with Batman. Cause as I'm sitting here thinking about it, Batman's son being Damian. I mean, if we don't count, like Dick Grayson or Tim Drake is kind of the adopted Bat family sons, if you will. But like Damian specific stuff, that might put a new parent into a little bit of panic and depression.
Right.
So
right.
Maybe steer clear of that whole thing.
Yeah. All right. Next message is from Weston Craig. It says, "Hey guys, I finally got caught up on all of BatCast. I was so happy to hear your review of the Batman Superman movie. It was my introduction to Batman, and I've always loved this version. Here's my question. What are your favorite Superman-Batman crossover moments in comics or cartoons? Some of mine are Superman and Batman fighting Metallo in Public Enemies, Superman counseling Batman to not get carried away with revenge in A Death in the Family, and Superman's reaction to Batman's death in Final Crisis. Which Batman-Superman moments from cartoons or comics would you like to see in the DCU movie universe? Thanks, Weston." Thank you, Weston, and glad you're caught up. Jamie, Superman moments, like favorites that you would like to see carry over into movies. I already know one, but you go ahead.
Well, the handshake on the rooftop. At some point, I have to see
Yeah, yeah.
that. The answers he give are pretty solid ones. Those are really great moments that stand out in my head specifically, and even more so the fight with Metallo in Public Enemies is great. But what I love even more than that is as they're going through the tunnels to get to the Batcave after that, and just kind of their banter as they're kind of carrying each other's injured carcasses down there, I think is just an awesome character moment for their relationship. I think that's great. And that bond is what I really truly want to see in not such a specific fashion, maybe, but just that general feel of those two. At times we know they can be philosophically contentious, but they're still truly friends deep at their core. So, for that to be emulated on a screen somehow is super important to me. No pun intended. More specific than that, gosh, I don't know, man. Yeah, this off the cuff stuff, it's work. I don't function well in that. I need heads up to be able to come up with proper answers for this stuff.
I know. And I agree. I do agree with you though, that like, I like seeing them at odds, but I even like seeing them be friends more.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what we really missed in the last universe was, we finally ended at a point where they were kind of allies, but it took so long so long is maybe even the wrong word, but we had just gotten there and then nothing past that. We didn't get to see their partnership. So, I mean, the Batman Superman movie is kind of is a great template where, I love the idea of them one-upping each other and figuring each other out. And then at the same time coming to this very respectful place where they appreciate each other's input, even though if they're never going to do things exactly the same. And like you said, I want to see them on a rooftop overlooking Metropolis or Gotham, and thanking each other for their help, or, Superman running into an issue and Batman's the one who gives him the key to solve it, and vice versa, like their strengths helping make up for each other's weaknesses. That's the relationship between them that I want to see, that we didn't get to see in the movies last time. It never got there. And I hope it can get there with this universe. So you give some great examples of moments, but I don't have specific moments, but that's the sort of dynamic I look forward to seeing. All right, next one here is from Benjamin. It says, Casters of the Bat, I hope all is well and the post-Halloween blues aren't too blue. Speaking of seasonal content, what in the actual F is with the new images for Merry Little Batman? As a former teacher, my sixth graders could draw a better Batman. For my question, Andy, since you love both Christmas and Batman so much, what would you actually want to see from an animated Batman Christmas movie? One that doesn't look like animated vomit. May your season be merry as long as it's not Merry Little Batman. Best, Benjamin. Well, we know how Benjamin feels about Merry Little Batman, don't we?
I feel like that was the majority opinion before the trailer dropped. And then I just feel like it softened a little bit after that happened.
Softened, but did not go away.
No, definitely not.
But anyway, so the question, like, if we were to make an animated Batman Christmas movie, Jamie, what would you make it? What would you want?
I would want Penguin and Catwoman to push a snow princess off of a building and land in a Christmas tree.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
Batmobile in the snow. I mean, that image certainly works for you. It certainly works for me.
Yeah.
I think most of all, what I would like is Christmas at Wayne Manor. Like they get done with whatever mission or challenge that they have to deal with, and then they go back to Wayne Manor. And if it's Bruce and Dick and Tim and Alfred, exchanging gifts by a fire, and having a little spread with a charcuterie board or something. Just a nice, quiet, quaint holiday in that gigantic billion-dollar mansion.
Yeah.
I feel like that would go a long way to please me.
Yeah. No, I love that idea. I didn't even think of that, but that is a perfect way to end it, is Christmas morning at Wayne Manor with the Bat family. I think that is awesome and magical, and I would love it. And there are elements that I'm seeing in the Merry Little Batman trailer that I like, like the Christmas parade through Gotham. I think that's a really fun idea and it was one of the older cartoons we reviewed a few years ago where it took place around the Christmas parade. And I think that there's something there that you could really take advantage of. But as for what I would really want to see, I don't know what the story would be because I had no prep. I have literally just read this just now. So I have no idea what I would want the story to be. But I like the idea of, extremely Christmassy imagery in Gotham and in Wayne Manor. The Joker deciding to steal Christmas, I don't think is a terrible idea. I would like it to be more Batman centric, than little kid Damian Wayne out on his own. So I like the idea of Batman trying to save Christmas and the Bat family having to help make that happen. And maybe it is the Joker teams up with, I don't know, let's say it's the big four. Let's say it's Joker, Penguin, Riddler, Catwoman, and they've spread out around the city and the Joker has taken over the parade. And I don't know, the Riddler has taken over, there could be 4 different holiday themed events and one villain infiltrates each one. So maybe the Riddler, it's the tree lighting. Maybe with Catwoman, it's I don't know, some charity event at the big department store in Gotham. And then the Penguin, it can be, I don't know, something with the Iceberg Lounge. I don't know. But there are 4 of them. They've spread out around Gotham on Christmas Eve, and they're all doing a different heist at a different place. And therefore, Batman, Robin, Batgirl, Nightwing have to also spread out to stop each of them. Something like that. And that way you get a lot of different Christmas holiday flavors throughout Gotham in different locations. And you can do a parade and a party and a tree lighting and a show, or I don't know, like just different Christmas things happening throughout the evening. And also it doesn't look like animated vomit. So that's my off the cuff answer. I don't know. All right. Next message is from Nathan Toy. It says, this is kind of a 2-parter and I apologize for the length. Part 1, I've had an interesting journey with Matt Reeves as the Batman. When I first saw it, I really liked it. Then I rewatched it a couple more times and I had more problems after each watch. This resulted in ultimately liking it, but never really having the urge to watch it again. However, then I watched it again about a month ago, and for some reason it worked so much better, and I really liked it. I'm not sure what it is, but this time it really sucked me in, and I realized how much I liked the cinematography, visuals, and action choreography. I'm just wondering when you guys last revisited it, and did it age better for you? Part 2, this leads me to a bit. I personally now enjoy aspects of Reeves' interpretation with the dark and gritty take, but I'm also excited for Brave and the Bold. I fear the fan base as a whole will unfortunately make themselves pick an interpretation and fight about it unnecessarily. My question is, do you think Brave and the Bold will sort of satisfy your craving for a more comic book aesthetic, and it will heighten your enjoyment of Reeves's Batman movies, and then you can enjoy both sides at the same time? This is how I think I'll view them. It's like getting steak and seafood. P.S. Jensen Ackles would be a great Batman, but maybe he is too old at this point. Re-listening to the commentary and ranking pods gets me through road trips. You guys really feel like friends at this point, and I don't think any other podcast I listen to feels like that. Thanks so much. I hope you and your families are doing well. Nathan. All right. Thanks, Nathan. I think relatively recently we had a similar question about how do we feel about the Batman now that it's, a year and a half removed, going on 2 years? My answer hasn't changed. I haven't seen it since the theater. I don't really have the desire to. It was one of those, like, the more I thought about it, the more it just wasn't for me. And one of these days I'll pop it back in and maybe I'll have the experience you did and I'll like it better than I remember. But I just haven't had the urge to watch it since then. So yeah, it's kind of the same as it was before. Jamie?
I've seen it 4 times now, I believe. And not a single opinion can I think of has changed from the first time I saw it.
Yeah.
There's things in it I like. There's things in it I don't. I still think it's too long. I still hate the Batmobile. It's pretty much, go back and listen to the review episode we did on it. That's pretty much how I feel about it today. So,
Yeah. And then as for, I don't know why you think the fan base would fight. That's weird. Why would you think that, Nathan? You're
Right.
crazy.
Yeah, we all just get along as one big
Could
happy
you please
family.
just give us some credit here? Um, I think that, Nathan, you are in the ideal situation, whereas you enjoy the Reeves's take and you're looking forward to the Brave and the Bold take, and so that way you can enjoy both. But like the Reeves take didn't work for me, so I'm really looking forward to the Brave and the Bold because I'm hoping it will work more for me. And the way I look at it is like, if that's the case, then like great. Like there are two very different, totally valid takes that, depending on what your favorite flavor is, you can enjoy one or both, or I guess neither. But yeah, for me, like I think getting the Brave and the Bold is going to make me like the Reeves' Batman better? No, probably not, because that movie is that movie and that franchise is that franchise, and I don't think getting an alternate version is going to make me like that one better. But who knows? You know, stranger things have happened. Jamie, any thoughts?
Uh, I still have some reservations about Brave and the Bold just because of the choices of going straight to Damien in this new universe. But I'll reserve any judgment about that until I see the finished product and what's going to be presented to me.
Yeah.
But I'm still excited for it. I'm still excited at the prospect of a blue and gray Batman doing comic book things on a screen. So
We shall see. And then finally, Nathan, I really do appreciate your last comment, and that we feel like friends, and that is awesome, and I love that, and that's that's what we kind of hope for. Is we're just folks talking about this stuff with, and hopefully you guys enjoy hearing us, and yeah, we've been on quite the journey together, coming up on 10 years of this podcast. So certainly appreciate that, and wishing you very happy holidays, Nathan.
God, almost 10 years, dude. That's crazy.
I know, super bizarre. Guess what? I have another one, and this one's I'm a little scared of. This is the last email, but it comes from a listener I'm a little afraid of.
Uh-oh. It
comes from Catherine Cobbs.
Oh no, not her.
I know. It's she sent me this yesterday. I was like, "What? You emailed the podcast?" And she goes, "Well, yeah, I was she's like, I was catching up, and I wanted to send you an email." I was like, "Oh, great."
Well, she listens to the show. I mean, it's not like we should exclude her from this. So.
I know. She's also a occasional co-host. It says, "Hey, honey, it's me, your wife, Catherine. First off, I love you. You're amazing. Second,"
well, I mean, she's right. We can't argue with that.
Well, that's good. Second, boys, I realize it's a Superman movie and his name is in the title, but there's one thing that should have made your list on your list. She's meaning, I think, of the things we want to see in Superman Legacy. Mm-hmm. A fully realized, strong and independent Lois Lane that the audience can get invested in. So much of what Elizabeth Tulloch has done on Superman and Lois has made the character so much more than what it's been on screen in the past. She's been strong and independent on paper, but realized in a way that still makes her feel subservient to Superman and Clark. But in that iteration, she was a Lois we could get invested in, a true partner to Clark. So if there's one thing I hope for in the next chapter of the DCU, it's that we get some consistently strong and well-written female characters and representation. Like Harley in Birds of Prey, but not in Suicide Squad. In the era of our Lord Taylor Swift and the evergreen seasons of Barbie, let's hope they do better. Love you loads. Hi to Jamie. Always proud of you. Your legally bound annoyance.
She's the best.
All right. I mean, I agree. I mean, and we have talked about in the past is we love our strong female characters. I think the last universe still did it pretty well. But absolutely, I think for Superman Legacy, Lois has to stand on her own and be strong and smart and charming and cool. And like I've always said this about Lois, especially in terms of Superman, is she has to be so exceptional that you understand why Superman, like a superpowered being from another planet, falls in love with this human. And that's what we need from Lois in Superman Legacy. And everything that I have heard about, oh my God, what's her name?
Rosnan?
Brosnahan. Rachel Brosnahan is that she has the goods. I still haven't seen Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, so I have no idea, but it sounds like that is what she will be able to deliver. I agree. Elizabeth Tulloch has done it great on TV. I thought Amy Adams did it great especially in Man of Steel and BVS. But yeah, Lois has to be exceptional. And I'm really hoping that is part of it. And we alluded to it when we talked about like Lois and Clark and their relationship at the Daily Planet and working together. And I even said, like, at the Daily Planet, Lois is the alpha. Like, she's the one in charge and Clark follows. And then with Superman and Lois, that dynamic shifts. And that's also part of the fun of their relationship. And I hope we get to see all of that in this. But as for your wish, Catherine, for more strong female representation, even in this movie, we've already got the engineer, which we just announced. We've got Lois Lane. We have Hawk Girl, who's been announced. We have Miss Tessmacher. So we're getting some female representation, and I hope they live up to your expectations and that they feel like great representation.
And not to veer off of that, but I mean, adjacent to this, we do have a Supergirl movie coming not far behind it. So
yeah, that is also true. So,
and yeah, I want that tough Lois. And if you'll remember when we talked about the Rachel Brosnahan originally getting the part, the official announcement of it, I was all into it because I think she's going to play exactly that. I think if you watch Miss Maisel, she's like a fiercely independent woman in a time where an independent woman was not exactly the most smiled upon thing. So no, I think she's going to bring that. I think that's part of the reason why she got the role, and she's very talented on top of that. So yeah, of course I want that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we totally agree. I thought we had, I guess, indirectly asked for that, but if we didn't overtly call it out in our list. So, but absolutely, we definitely want a Lois who is her own person and is all of those things.
Now, let me take it a step further. If you'll remember when we were talking about BVS before it came out, and I basically said at some point something to the effect of, if you want to establish Wonder Woman as a force in the DC universe, have Superman and Batman at the foot of an enemy, and she's the one that has to come in and save them.
Yeah. Yep.
Why not have Lois be the one that saves Superman in this movie for a change?
She helped save him in BVS.
Yeah.
From Batman.
But I mean, like here, maybe he's dealing with adversity, say it's Lex in a power suit and Lex is exposing some kryptonite that he has inside the chest of the suit or something. And, Superman can't do much and nobody else is around to help out. And all of a sudden this green streak comes out of the sky and punches Lex in the face, and it's Lois in the other power suit. Why not? I'm for it.
All right. Okay, well, we're closing the mailbox. That's it. Good one to end on. My wife secretly sending me emails without telling me. Okay. But there you go. If you got something for the Wayne Manor mailbox, you can send that to Holy BatCast at rf4rm.com. We do love hearing from you guys. We love hearing your thoughts, your questions, your musings, your questions that make us go, oh, God, I don't know. I need to think about it. All fun stuff. So, yeah, please send those to Holy BatCast at rf4rm.com. But that is where we're going to wrap up this episode again. Who knows when the next one will come? I'm going to do my best through December, but please be patient. But we will be back before you know it. And if you need something in the meantime, go back and listen to some old episodes. They're lots of fun, according to some of these listeners who wrote in. They go back and re-listen. That's great. We love it. But Jamie, thank you, especially for taking out time on Thanksgiving Eve while you're full of turkey to talk to me about Batman and Superman and Aquaman and Lois Lane and all the above.
Well, you're one of my favorite people, and I love DC Comics, and I love turkey, so this was a nice evening.
Oh, good. That's great. I love it. Where can we find you? Anywhere?
Facebook, Real Fans Groups, Letterboxd under my name, Jamie Drewley, and on this show and Real Fans from time to time, I suppose.
Yeah, awesome.
Oh, and I don't know if you're aware, my dude, but as of right now, as we're getting ready to hit stop on this recording, we are approximately 20, 27 hours away from the start of Cheerathon.
Oh my God, you're right. Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready.
I can tell because you bought all those 99-cent Hallmark movies.
Dude, I bought so many Hallmark movies. I bought so many. But yes, for at least another day, it is Thanksgiving. And so happy Thanksgiving to you, Jamie, and your entire family, the whole Drewley clan. Give them my best. And for everybody out there listening, happy Thanksgiving to all of you as well. I know it's cheesy, but I am thankful for all of you, for your support, your kind words, just the community that we've created around Holy BatCast over the past almost 10 years. I'm super grateful for that. So I'm thankful to everybody who's listening right now, and especially those who've reached out and, with everything that's going on with me and my mom and my dad over the summer. And I just want you to know how much I appreciate all of it. And I'm thankful for it. And I'm so thankful for you, Jamie and Brendan and all of our Bat friends and Bat family. And then, of course, my beautiful wife and daughter, they make every day better. So, it's a time to be thankful. And despite, having to say goodbyes, it also is nice to pause and be thankful for the good things in our life.
Absolutely. And, I'm thankful for you, thankful that I can call you friend, and all the stuff that you do just in the podcast universe, man. I don't know how you have time for a wife and a daughter and work and everything else because of all the stuff that you do just in the podcast realm. God, what do you do? Like 7 podcasts now?
Oh my God, too many, but again, they're all, when I can fit them in. But I did manage to get the Thanksgiving episode out for real fans, so that felt like an accomplishment.
Right.
So if anybody wants more Thanksgiving content before you start all in on Christmas, go to Real Fans for Real Movies. The Thanksgiving special came out last week, and it was another fun one. We had a good time with that. But thank you everybody for joining us. Thanks for downloading or streaming the show. Please do follow or subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. And something else that you can do to support us is just rate and review us wherever you get your shows. That would be awesome. We would love that. Visit holybatcast.com, and again, find Holy BatCast on Facebook, Twitter, X, Instagram, and YouTube. Yeah, all those places. If you got something for the Wayne Manor mailbox, that email address again is holybatcast@rf4rm.com. Our theme music was created by the talented Guru Venkateswar. You can find his work at gvtunes.com. And don't forget to check out our sponsors over at Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com and do some shopping and use that promo code BATSCAPED to get 20% off and free shipping. But that will do it for this episode. On behalf of Jamie, I've been Andy. We'll see you next time. Same bat time, same bat channel. And again, have a happy, healthy, and safe Thanksgiving. Wishing you all nothing but the best. See you soon. Holy BatCast is not affiliated with Warner Brothers or DC Entertainment. The views and opinions shared by the participants are theirs and theirs alone and do not represent the companies or organizations they happen to work for.
Oh, God, it feels like it's time for a turkey sandwich.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous. But tomorrow it's on. Hide the stuffing because it's about to get disgraceful up in here.
Oh, I love Thanksgiving. Love it.
Me too. I'm so excited.
I'm sure I terrify everybody around me at Thanksgiving, but I do not care.